about learning the fundamentals that have been there for years. I'm talking about everything from voice leading to triads to arpeggios, and becoming that knowledge and starting to put your own voice into that knowledge. And you learn that by practicing different forms of harmony and melody and then associating them to each other. You're also going to learn that just by listening to music and trying to figure out how exactly what you're hearing can be attached or associated to the fundamentals. Let's say you're learning a F minor arpeggio, right? So like that alone is not music yet, right? But if you start putting some feel and rhythm into it, and you start associating different bits of language to it, it becomes a phrase. Right? This association is gonna naturally start happening by you taking seriously language and fundamentals. Now, a great place to start is to test yourself with each song that you learn and ask yourself, okay, I just learned that song, can I now play it on a different place on the guitar, right? If you have a song that maybe has, I don't know, like A minor to D minor, G to C, right? So you see, you have A minor to D minor, G to C here, or here. A minor to D minor, G to C over here, or how about A minor to D minor, G to C, A minor to D minor, G to C, A minor to D minor, G to C, right? You see it all over the place, and the next thing to do is to see if you can hear melodies within that. So that have everything to do with voice leading, which you can practice inside my Galactic modern guitar series. You can access that in the link in the description of this video. But basically you take a progression, you see the triads that you start voice leading, and you create melodies with it. Right? And you can do that with basic to more advanced progressions. Now, as you progress, you will notice that something is happening to the way you hear music. All of a sudden, it kind of makes more sense. And when you're hearing improvisations over changes, or even just melodies over different chord progressions, your ear really starts to pick up the voice leading behind the phrasing. And that's a very powerful thing that is going to start happening just by you practicing triads, arpeggios, and voice leading them. Another thing you will notice is that you are starting to pick up different phrases from different recordings, and you actually understand what is going on. If you have a 2/5 phrase, you're starting to really hear the different chord tones that are being played on the downbeats. This is the 7 of D minor into the 5th. So all these notes in between are just chromatic notes, but the most important thing is the notes that you're landing on. This is just like an embellishment of a D minor triad with an extra note, the add 2, add 9. You know, but because you know the triad, now you know that this is a phrase that is associated to that triad. After a while, you don't even think about those stuff, you just play. Now this is on the G7, it's the root right here, G, right? You know your G major triad and you can play that. These are all notes that have some tension to them, which is another lesson that you can check right here about how to start adding tensions to different 2-5-1 progressions. And then you can land on the 5, right? But I associate all this stuff to simple stuff, like seeing the chord tones. If you obsess over seeing chord tones when you improvise, and instead of just getting frustrated with, oh, I can't play over these changes or those changes, you start really just taking control of the most fundamental elements, such as triads, chord tones. All the rest is just like a dance around the chord tones. All this bebop and all this crazy fusion out in modern stuff is all based around tension and release that you're creating around those fundamentals. And if you want to learn triads, arpeggios, voice leading with a system that I wish I had when I was starting to get into this, you can definitely check out the Galactic Modern Guitar series in the description of this video and access all of the 3 years of work that I've put into organizing everything into modules and exercises that you can learn everything way faster and achieve fretboard mastery. Now, if you want to check out a really cool video about how to associate bebop language to triads, check out this video right over here.